So, Spider-Man 2 Electric Boogaloo?
Yes, one of the greatest sequels of all time.
Pizza time.
That too.
Yeah.
So
This is Spider-Man 2 Electric Boogaloo from 2004. Also directed by Sam Raimi. I watched the 2.1 version of it, which is like 10 minutes longer. I'm not exactly sure what's the differences because I haven't seen the theatrical one. I don't know. There's just like that 10-minute scene where J.K. Simmons masturbates into the camera, but like I don't know. I think that's probably in the PG-13 version too. I'm not really sure.
See, I'm not. What? What was that? Someone knocking?
Is someone knocking?
Sounded like someone's knocking. Was that you pinning on glass or something?
Is there someone knocking?
What, on your
Nope.
end?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't hear knocking. Knocking on heaven's door. Got him. Play it backwards and you'll hear the voices hating.
Spider-Man 2.
Kind of the fan favorite of the trilogy.
And like generally heralded as one of the better superhero films out there.
Superman 2 is the greatest. I haven't seen
What?
it. I'm gonna shut the fuck up. I have no idea what I'm saying.
I've never seen one of the older Clark Kent Why am I saying Clark Kent? What's his fucking name?
More like Clark Gent, am I right? Got him. So Spider-Man 2, it picks up after Spider-Man 1, surprisingly.
Wow. It's got the credits out of all three because they kind of do this little colored pencil drawing art, comic book art style. Not comic book, but it's a very... What the fuck am I trying to say here?
Colored pencil drawings?
Yeah, the intro to the movie. I'll get that out of the three intros because there's this nice little colored pencil art drawing thing. And what's neat about the drawings is it kind of recaps the previous movie, but without like having a fucking not commentary, but a narration recap from fucking Tobey Maguire.
Yeah. Forget, does this one open? Is there narration from Spider or from Peter Parker like there is in the first and third?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I remember it distinctly because I fucking wrote down that the weird CGI sign of MJ's face is so fucking out of place, CGI wise.
And there's that odd scene when he's like walking and the entire wall, like going down the street, is just covered in posters of her face.
Yeah, that was an interesting scene.
I thought it was going to be like one of those where he's just like imagining it or something, like because he's thinking like that's what's on his mind. But like, I don't think it was. What the fuck was that?
I kind of thought of it like my mind kind of went back to Spider-Man Far From Home, where Tom is like, I see his face everywhere.
It's Spider-Man 2. It was a Endgame reference. That's what it was.
No. I was kind of thinking like, fucking Peter saw MJ's face everywhere because he was thinking about her.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
So it's a few years. I think it's probably like 2 years later, like it is release wise. I'm not sure on the exact time frame difference. How many years have passed? 2 or 1 year? Because he's in the middle of fucking college.
Yeah, and Dylan Baker, who I really wish I can not just think of him as the pedophile from Happiness. But I'm sorry. The film Happiness. I've brought this up like 2 or 3 times before on the podcast.
Oh.
Whenever I see Dylan Baker in anything, I just think, oh, it's the pedophile from Happiness. But like, he's a good actor. That shouldn't be the only thing I think of him as.
I think of him as the principal / serial killer dad. Yeah.
So basically, like, bro is fucking everything up in his life, but because he's Spider-Man. He loses his fucking job,
Yeah,
pizza
because
time
he's a
job.
fucking pizza guy,
He's like messing up his
and
college. He fucks it up with. Does he fuck
because
something up with MJ? I forget.
um
Yeah, he's supposed to go to her fucking play.
yeah, theater play, and he doesn't show up. Well, he does. He tries to show up, then he fucking almost gets ran over,
Yeah, his bike gets wrecked, and like he
and
fucking just like steals like. It's funny how he goes into the car and fucking like he like traps the criminals or whatever in like a web, and then he drives the car to the place, and the guy's like, "Can't park here, I'll tow it," and he's like, "Ah, that's fine." So it was kind of funny.
um
And Bruce Campbell
also
shows up as a snooty usher. That's what he was
yeah,
credited as in the credits.
small scene I thought was amusing. When he does that flip over the fucking car, those
Hmm.
kids are like, "Whoa, how'd you do that?" And he was like, eat your vegetables."
Yeah.
And they're like, "My mom always says that, but I didn't believe her."
And then he gets fucking his powers gets erectile dysfunction.
We're like jumping all over the place here.
Sorry. Yeah, kind of.
So yeah, Peter is works for a pizza company, Pizza Time. Everybody knows the meme. We don't really need to go into it. He
There's that guy
delivers the
in the
pizza
fucking
to Bleecker Street. Ta-da.
and there's that guy in the elevator who's like nerding out about Spider-Man. That was kind of funny.
Well, he's not really nerding out. He's just like, the fuck? It's Spider-Man?
It was like you should make a fucking cologne called Thwip.
What?
This might have been an extended cut scene.
Yeah,
This might have been an extended cut thing because like it kind of felt like the scene went on like maybe a little bit longer than it should have. I mean, it was a funny scene, but it was like he's like saying, "Oh, here's some ideas. You should make a hammock, like a Spider-Man hammock, and make it a web."
Yeah, I've
And he's
never
like,
seen that.
"Yeah,
And
yeah." I'm
Peter,
actually interested to like. I should look it up. I should look it up and see which scenes. Actually, I'm gonna look it up right now. See
yeah,
what the
the
difference is.
theatrical cut is just him standing awkwardly in the elevator, and Spider-Man's like, he's like, "Nice suit," and he's like, "Yeah, it's a bit tight, kind of rides up into the crotch area a little bit."
So it's Spider-Man
And I'll just
difference.
continue talking while you can
Yeah,
do
sure.
that. Going back to Dylan Baker, Kurt Connors, who becomes the Lizard in the comics.
Oh, it is?
Yeah,
I did not know that. Yeah, I don't
which
really
I
know shit
don't
about the
know if
comics, so.
ever planning to make him the Lizard at some point. I feel like Spider-Man 4 would have been the Falcon, not Falcon, but Vulture, and it could have been like Mysterio, Lizard, or Craven, I don't know. Anyways, I never like noticed as a kid that he's missing an arm because it's
Dylan
never
Baker?
fucking, yeah, he's missing an arm in all the two movies he's in.
Weird. I did not notice that.
Yeah, it's like hard to notice, but once you notice, you can't not notice it.
The director's preferred edition is the theatrical cut. What the fuck? Shit, I knew I should have watched the theatrical cut first. Yes, that I supervised. Sony came to me and said, we want to make a 2.1 that gives fans more in the movie. I said, but, well, the problem is I want to be good to you, Sony, but the problem is you gave me my director's cut with the main picture, and I don't want to punish you now. But that I really liked. What the fuck? That was the movie I
What?
wanted to make, and you let me make it, and I'm thankful for it. Oh, so, like, the extended cut isn't actually what the movie's supposed to be. It's always something like that. Fuck. Like, just because something has extra footage, it doesn't mean that it's the preferred edition. Like, the movie The Handmaiden?
No.
Yeah, it's a great film, but there's a lot of twists in it, and the movie is like non-linear. It cuts back and forth in time, and apparently the extended cut, which is like 10 minutes longer, they put it in order, so it completely ruins the entire point of the way the film plays out. So, like, yeah, extended cuts aren't always the better version. All right, there's in the pizza delivery scene, it's 13 seconds longer with the guy yelling at him. There's 5 more seconds of him messing around in the closet, making noise.
Oh, yeah.
There's 16 seconds more when he noticed there's cobweb on the pizza. Okay.
So, very small stuff.
Peter leaves without... What the fuck? I thought that would be like entire scenes are different. The birthday party is 11 seconds longer. 43 seconds longer. This is just like it's saying there's like this line was missing. Really? How is this gonna add up to 10 whole minutes worth?
That's what fucking extended cuts were back then. They didn't actually add anything of substance to films. They were just, here's one more joke.
In the elevator. The complete elevator sequence with Spider-Man is different. The TR man is skeptical. He talks to Spidey about the nice costume, and it becomes clear that he thinks he's going to a crazy fan set the Spider-Man. In the extended cut, the man introduces himself as a public relations expert, knows that Spider-Man is standing in front of him, and he instantly makes him an offer to help with Spidey's marketing. TV shows, a children's book, cologne, it's all no problem. The idea comes out of his mouth as he gestures a wild brainstorming. But since Spider-Man doesn't have a bag for the man's card, let alone any interest in his offer, the situation gets calmed down. Both of them wait in awkwardness for the elevator to arrive, but it's going slowly, even after Spider-Man pushed the button again. Okay, it's 35 seconds longer. So it is. I was right about that.
So we're introduced to what's going on, and it's kind of apparent that Spider-Man is kind of failing at choosing between whether or not he wants to be Spider-Man or he wants to be Peter Parker. He's struggling with this whole idea that he has a choice.
Shopping. There's a scene with MJ when she's talking to her friend about what true love is. Okay.
What?
And it's the fucking lady, girl, whatever. It's the person from fucking Death Proof. What the fuck is her name? Yeah. Hold on. What the fuck is her name? Donna Murphy?
Who?
No, that's not Donna Murphy. Hold up. Fucking sorry. Vanessa Felito. Yeah.
Oh, that's Vanessa Felito, her fucking castmate.
Yeah. I think so. Louise.
Damn, Vanessa Felito. That's a name I ain't heard of in a long time.
Oh yeah, there's a part when the doctor like goes on about what his therapist told him and tries to gives Peter Parker advice. Oh yeah, there's a part when J. Jonah Jameson dresses up in the Spider-Man costume and jumps around his office.
What?
Actually, man, there's several parts that I thought were seemed out of place. It's just because it's the fucking extended cut.
Why you didn't like it as much.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, because fuck, I should have just watched the normal one. Also, there was a few parts in the scene, the surgeon or the surgery scene, that's kind of like a horror movie with fucking Doc Ock.
Yeah.
There's a few shots that were cut out since it's PG-13, like someone getting electrocuted. Something about chainsaws. Okay, nothing too big. It's mostly just little scenes here and there, little interactions and shit. That's kind of what I thought. Yeah, there's fucking comedy movies that market it as on the Blu-ray it'll be the unrated cut, the version they don't want you to see, or the version they couldn't show in the theaters, and they have just 3 extra fucks or something in it. They say fuck 3 more times or something. Or if it's PG-13, they just say fuck in it. Or there's sometimes there's that thing where it's a comedian or a stand-up comedian will be in it, and they'll just have a scene where they just keep telling jokes like it's a fucking stand-up. I always notice that in comedies. Anyway, I'm going on fucking on. Let's actually talk about Spider-Man 2.
Unrated. The movies are underrated because they didn't have time to fucking send it through the rating system and get it rated.
Yeah.
You have to do that for separate cuts. So that's why most fucking extended cuts are unrated.
Yeah. It's not that it's NC-17. I mean, there are films like that. I know fucking Bad Lieutenant is like that, where there's like a cut they couldn't release because there's it's too spicy.
Cool.
But for most films, it's not like that. Anyway,
back to Spider-Man. There's
Arachnid Boy.
Toby's birthday, and then a small little scene between Toby and Franco where they're like, I forget what they fucking say. There's a little bit of tension because, oh yeah, Peter's Spider-Man's photographer, and Harry's like, you fucking know him. You know he
because
killed
he's
my
like,
father.
yeah, it's like they're starting to like slowly. I mean, I think it's kind of started with the whole, MJ being fucking Harry's girlfriend. Kind of like started to split them apart as friends. And then obviously, with stuff with his father, and then like after he dies, or after he thinks Spider-Man killed, fucking what the fuck is his name? Norman.
Norman.
And yeah, and then it's like oh, you're friends with that guy, and like if you knew who he was, would you tell me? It's like he wants to kill him or whatever. Which is actually a plot line in this that I thought was a bit weak. Is when, I mean, it is skipping ahead, but like we don't have to talk about it in chronological order, right?
No.
When later on Doc Ock, he's like, you bring me or fucking, you give me the fucking, what the fuck does he want? Some kind of material or some shit?
The titanium.
Yeah.
And
I'll bring you Spider-Man. Then like he does, but like it just doesn't. I mean, he finds out that fucking Peter Parker is Spider-Man, but like other than that, I feel like that scene could have. It felt like could have been. It felt like it was gonna be something more important than what actually happened in it. You know what I mean? It's like, fucking, let's find out who this is, and it's like walking up to him with it. It's like a fucking like ceremonial like sacrifice dagger. They just like has on hand.
Was more intense as a kid than it was when I rewatched it.
Yeah, I thought it was like, yeah, I just felt like there would be more payoff to it in Spider-Man 2. Obviously in Spider-Man 3, it's way more of a plot line with Harry. But like, I don't know, I feel like that it should have been more important than it was.
They just don't have time to divulge on it because it's at a critical point in the storyline where MJ's kidnapped and he's like, I gotta find MJ.
Yeah.
But I mean, anyways, there's a lot more tension between Peter and MJ because they obviously want to be together but having difficulties working it out.
Yeah. And he's Peter's kind of like resisting it because he doesn't want to get her involved with the whole.
And he chooses to be Spider-Man for quite a bit in the film and then loses Mary Jane.
Yeah,
well,
and even
that's
when
the whole fucking conflict of the film.
Even when he chooses not to be with MJ, so she doesn't get hurt, she still in distress. So it's like unavoidable that she'll end up like the bad guy capturing her and her like falling and having to be caught. Actually, does that happen in this movie?
What part?
Her like falling and having to be caught, or does that just happen in the first and third?
Fuck. Does she?
Because she's like tied up at the end, or like
I'm trying to remember if she dies or not. I feel like she does, but it's very.
She's like getting like sucked into the fucking energy or whatever the fuck, and he has to save her.
There's a different scene earlier in the film. Or am I getting confused with part 3?
Yep. But
I know he has to save. Fuck, no, there is a scene, I swear, where MJ's falling.
The third one when she's like falling out of like the fucking venom web, right?
There's that, and there is a scene in the second. I need to look at the plot. It's gonna bother me because I swear there's a scene because it's after she gets kidnapped, I think, by Doc Ock. Because I know there is a thing with Aunt May. She does that after the bank scene.
That's a good scene. I like the bank scene. I find it funny that like the vault is just full of like gold coins. Like what the fuck? Like fucking like
stuff.
Gold doubloons. Is that the right word?
Yeah.
Doubloon. Doubloon is like pirates. Doubloon.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's a. I like that whole sequence with the bank, and then Doc Ock like fucking takes Aunt May. She like hits him in the head with an umbrella. I like that whole part.
Maybe I'm getting confused. Hold on. Give me a moment. Yeah, maybe I am getting confused with Aunt May in this one. And maybe Gwen Stacy.
She's not in this one.
No, she's in the third one, but she does fall.
Yeah.
In the third one. Anyways, we kind of like skipped over him meeting Dr. Ock in his orientation room.
Yeah, because fucking Harry like introduces him because
Peter's doing a paper.
Yeah.
On the Ock. So they go meet, and then they end up getting along together pretty well.
Yeah.
Peter's actually smart as fuck. It seems like he's this whole nice kind of guy. And
so here's one thing I don't really like about his character, Doc Ock. Oh, I think it's a bit. Anyway, he so basically he's trying to make, what is it, sustainable energy.
Yeah.
And to do that he has to make AI controlled like robot tentacles to hook into his back that's controlled by a little chip that keeps it from taking him over. To control energy. That's like kind of contrived. Like I feel like that's just like, I mean, it's a cool idea. I like the whole tentacle thing being controlled by AI, and also it kind of has that vibe of like he's not fully in control of it because like at the end he kind of like sacrifices himself and stuff. Kind of similar to the first one, how I think it with like Norman, he's not quite completely in control of what he's doing. But I don't know. Like I just feel like that's kind of a like contrived way to make the reason for him to become Doc Ock is just like, oh, I have to make these tentacle arms for the specific thing that's controlled by AI, controlled by a chip that keeps them from going nuts or whatever. It's like, really? I don't know. It was just like a bit of an odd like reason or like a weird like, I don't know. It just, that kind of bothered me. It just felt like a bit weaker than like it did in the first movie with the reason he became like Green Goblin.
I kind of disagree. It's pretty simple from my point of view, because with like that kind of stuff, you can't really touch it with your fucking hands.
I suppose. Yeah, you can't really. I don't know. It just seems like, I guess. And then he like.
I see where you're coming from, but at the same time, it makes sense. Like I don't think it's a thing to really think about too much.
I suppose. I do like Doc Ock though. I think he's a cool character. Like the tentacles. I like the way the effects on the tentacles are. Like it's obviously a lot of it's CGI, but I think there are several moments where it's like practical. And the way it's blended is like it looks good. Like I think it could have looked really bad, but I think it looks pretty good. Like the effects in this, I think, are like a little bit better.
A lot of the fight scenes in this movie are pretty lengthy and probably the best of the trilogy.
Yeah, I would probably say that too.
Specifically, I think the best fight scene is the one with Aunt May, and they're lighting up the building.
Yeah, I like how like abruptly that scene starts with like Doc Ock's just in the bank and just fucking like his tentacles and shit come out and it just starts fucking like robbing it. Like that's a good scene.
Yeah. I mean that's all for Spider-Man. I'm kidding. So Peter's also living in an apartment now on his own from Aunt May, which it's never explained why Peter doesn't live with Harry anymore. They're trying to like move on with their life.
Yeah, because they're kind of like growing apart as friends.
Yeah, because they had like a really nice loft house, but it's kind of paid for by Norman. But Harry's still rich. Um, and Peter lives in this kind of shady apartment with Mr. Ditkovich,
Who
who
looks
is
very
quite.
familiar, but I looked him up on IMDb and I don't recognize anything else he's in.
I don't know. I might have to look. He may look like another actor.
Probably.
Who is it?
One thing I wanted to point out, so if Peter's hands cling to things, how can he climb if he has his hands inside of gloves?
Because they come through the gloves, don't they? Don't they
How the
make a
fuck does
scene?
he How does that work? Because he doesn't have like sticky hands, or he does, but it's like actually his hands. Wouldn't it just stick to the inside of like his suit?
They come through the suit, I guess.
What comes through the suit? Because it's not like webs. He's not like climbing with webs. It's actually his
In the
hands,
first movie, they do that close up where you can see like these little kind of spiky things coming out from his hands.
and it goes through his glove thing.
I don't know if it goes through his glove, but that's always kind of what I assumed. I don't
Another little
know.
like random thing I had noted down. I love that like the police are so incompetent that like whenever he hears sirens, he has to go like actually do what they're supposed to be doing. Like he has to go like if there's like someone robbing something, he has to go catch them. If there's like a house burning down, he has to go save them. Like all the like police are like so incompetent that like whenever you hear sirens, it's like, oh, there's my cue to go do what they're actually supposed to do.
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's obviously the police in Manhattan are pretty fucking bad at their job.
Also, like he has like a police scanner thing. Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Whatever the fuck. In like his room, and like every like I don't know, every once in a while it goes off like, oh, crime's happening. Like, come on, in New York City, you don't think there's gonna be like crime like every fuck happening like constantly? Like, I don't know. I feel like there'd
Yeah,
be.
I'm looking through Mr. Ditkovich's filmography, and I've never heard of the majority of whatever this stuff is. The pickle? What the fuck is the pickle?
The pickle?
It's a movie, apparently.
Let me see.
Harry Stone, a formerly top-notch director, has had 3 disastrous movies in a row. He's forced to take on a very commercial and he believes ridiculous movie, which I guess is called The Pickle.
What the fuck? The pickle? This going in the watch list. I don't even give a fuck.
Yeah, the title was enough to get me interested.
Oh, he was in
The movie
2010, the year we made contact. Fuck off. That was so bad.
Oh, here's where I know him from. The Laureate from I'm kidding. From God, he was. What are these movies?
It's just all garbage. Raise the Titanic.
Deep Star 6? Kind of sounds cool. Yeah, that sounds cool, but it looks bad.
Wheelman. Rainn Wilson. What the fuck is this?
Wheelman? Oh, he was in a movie called Zits.
Wait, what the fuck? Why does it say Wheelman, Rainn Wilson in big letters on the poster, but it doesn't even look like Rainn Wilson's. He's like up at the bottom of the cast. What the fuck? Okay.
From his movie called Zits, a group of middle school students start selling fake military plans to the KGB to pay for their music teacher's eye operation. What the fuck? God, we're so off topic, but it's so interesting.
Yeah. If this video if this gets too long, we might have to split it up. We've already been talking for an hour and a half and haven't even got to 3 yet.
What the fuck is this? American Pop? It looks like an American Graffiti ripoff.
American Pop.
The story of 4 generations of a Russian Jewish immigrant family. Never mind. What the fuck? It's animated? What the fuck? Yeah, Razor
Combat
Titanic.
Academy. Is this
Being
like
there? That's a highly rated fucking movie.
Combat Academy? Is this a fucking parody of Police Academy?
I don't know, but he's in Being There, which is a supposedly really, really good Peter Sellers movie. So that's good for him.
Wait, are we looking at the same thing? I don't see most of what you're talking about.
I'm at like 1975 right now. 3 Days in Moscow. The Long Recess. His first movie ever was Telegramma, 1972. A Russian piece of shit movie. I guess he just looks like an actor that looks like he was in more.
Yeah, I must be thinking of someone else.
Because his most famous roles would be listed when you are just looking at his known for area. Poor guy. Anyways, back to Spiderman.
Spiderman, man.
Mr. Dickovich and his weird daughter who kind of looks like a mouse.
Yes.
And obviously likes Peter Parker, but is never explored.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna go somewhere. I also thought the Elizabeth Banks character was gonna there'd be something with her character, but nope.
I think it might be in the comment. I'm not sure, because that's Betty Brant. But anyways, let's see. So the first scene we see not the first scene, but the scene where Doc Ock is doing his thing for the first time, and he's not Doc Ock yet, and he's doing the reactor shit, and it fucking pulls everything towards the machine, and I forget how, but somehow the glass breaks in some part, and all of it comes flying towards his wife. That's kind of like a fucking, and it shows her face on that glass pane. I'm like, this is some Final Destination shit right here.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because there's that scene when Peter and MJ are in a coffee shop or diner or some shit.
Yeah, that's like Final Destination.
Yeah,
shit
and
too.
a car just fucking flies through the window, and that reminded me of Final Destination.
And it grazes the tire, grazes his cheek.
Yeah.
I'm like, if that tire was any lower, you would just not. If it was a Final Destination movie, his face would have been just fucked gone.
Like in fucking Death Proof. There's a scene where a character gets a tire to the face. That was fucking brutal.
Yeah.
Or in fucking Saw 7 with what's his name? Yeah. That's such a great scene. The punk neo-Nazi scene in Saw 7.
We're talking about two separate movies right now.
Wait, what?
I'm saying the car crash scene in Death Proof is really visceral and gory and very nice.
Yeah, I'm just talking about scenes with tires to the face. That scene in Death Proof. Not to get too much into Death Proof, but the first time I watched it, I was like, "Wait, what the fuck?" I thought it was a fake out. I thought that was a fake out scene, Death Proof, and I was like, "Oh, this is fake." And I was like, "Wait, no, it's not." What? Yeah, it's
pretty under fucking rated, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I always say that Death Proof is my least favorite Tarantino, but I feel next time I watch it, I'm probably gonna love it because I feel I'll get what his vibe of going for the exploitation type thing. I feel I'll next time I watch it because it's been I don't know 2.5, 3 years since I've seen it. So I feel next time I watch it, I'll probably love it.
I saw it a lot because it was my dad's favorite Tarantino movie.
Yeah, a lot of people love it. It's definitely got its fan base. I really love Grindhouse, the Grindhouse double feature. That's actually the the small the cut down version that's in Grindhouse of Death Proof. I actually like it more than the 2-hour version. That's if you just watch it by itself without the Planet Terror. And all the commercials or the previews that's in the Grindhouse double feature.
Yeah, we're gonna
Oh shit! Yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah. Fucking hell.
So yeah, the
Final
Final
Destination does.
Destination kind of shit. Then there's the beautiful hospital scene, which is just like pure Sam Raimi at his fucking finest,
Yeah,
and
with
is one of my favorite scenes from the movie.
oh, I was thinking of I was think I was thinking of the scene when they're in the was that in the first or the which one is it when Peter tells MJ basically like how he feels about her in like Aunt May's laying there like in a hospital bed. I was thinking you were talking about that. And I was thinking, is that really Sam Raimi at his finest? But then you meant the fucking operating room. Yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
seems like straight up like horror. I mean, there's like all the like screaming and shit flying around and like the one like lady getting like dragged across the floor and scratching
it's
the fucking
fucking nails. Oh,
yeah. And then there's like I love that there's a chainsaw in an operating
yeah.
room.
Like where it's
uh,
not. It's a medical saw, but it works well enough to you know what kind of what's
no,
wrong with it.
no, it's like a chainsaw. It's like a
Oh,
like the one doctor like grabs it because like yeah he has the medical saw thing that he's gonna cut into his spine or whatever with. And then it's like he after a little bit more into the scene, one of the doctors grabs a chainsaw. I
yeah.
feel like it was almost like a reference to Evil Dead or Evil Dead
And
2.
I'm pretty sure it fucking was. It's Sam
Yeah,
Raimi. He can reference his own movie.
yeah. But
But
yeah,
yeah,
that's a great scene.
he's phenomenal. And there's kind of undertones of like more horror throughout too, which is also another reason why it's my favorite.
Yeah, there's a lot of screaming in this movie.
He gets very intense sometimes, and it feels almost like too visceral for a 13 movie.
Nah, more visceral the better.
But like, there's also a lot of fucking titty shots in this film. Not like obviously
I didn't
very,
really.
but I
I didn't.
noticed like a lot of shots from like underneath the woman looking up, and I'm like,
Under
I
boob
can't think of a
shots.
fucking angle like under boob shots. There's quite a few of them. I don't want to say like a lot, but
Man,
I
I did
noticed,
not notice that. Hmm.
and I was like, there's a lot of weird kind of sexual stuff in this.
Yeah, like Doc Ock's tentacles. You know, people are into that. I am. I guarantee that there's so much fucking Doc Ock Rule 34. It's not even funny.
um, yeah. There's also I noticed this weird sound effect. I don't remember what. There's like a shootout. I think when they're shooting at Doc Ock, and it sounds like a fucking rifle going off. I'm like, why is there like? I mean, like old timey rifle, like fucking lever action. I'm just like, what the fuck? That doesn't fit in with these fucking pistols. It was almost like a stock sound, kind of like the Willem scream.
Oh yeah, isn't there a Wilhelm scream at some point in this trilogy? Or
I
am I?
swear there is. There's
Yeah,
gotta be. It's so ingrained into film. It's almost in any film with fucking screaming. It's probably in there.
yeah. I mean, for this type of movie, anyway. I mean, it's not. There's not
Yeah.
going to be like a Wilhelm scream mid like "Come and See" or some shit.
Um, Mary Jane, the person she gets engaged to, kind of fucking very quickly and randomly.
Yeah,
Maybe Mary Jane is a gold digger. Maybe Norman was
yeah.
right.
And what he played football on the moon.
No, I think that was just. I don't know what that fucking reference is actually.
Yeah, he was an astronaut.
Yeah, he's like the first guy to play football on the moon. I'm like, did he like toss her football or something
I
on the moon?
suppose.
How would that work? There's no gravity.
I don't know.
But I know in the comics, he kind of like contracts this radioactive or some type of
He
virus
gets space
like,
aids.
on a space mission, and he turns into like a space wolf, not space wolf, but man wolf.
He
Not
gets
quite a
spades.
werewolf, but he's a fucking like full on werewolf in the comics.
Damn, every like side character in these movies has like a full like comic
Backstory,
series on them. I didn't even know this.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is more so than fucking the MCU movies, which is why I kind of enjoy these more than the MCU. I mean, I
Yeah,
definitely enjoy these more than the MCU ones.
I like I like these because they're self-contained. Like there are references to other things. There's like they reference Doctor Strange. There's like the fucking Punisher shows up at the end of this in like the shot of like Mary Jane running towards Peter. It's like I
What?
think it's Thomas Jane, yeah, from the fucking Punisher movie from the 2000s. What's it
How did
called?
I miss this?
Yeah, it's I didn't know this. I saw it on trivia somewhere. It's fucking yeah Thomas Jane. He shows up in like in the background, just like walking by when she's like running towards Peter in her or to Peter in her wedding gown. Yeah, fucking the Punisher just shows up.
I gotta fucking see this.
Yeah, and but like since there are references to things, but it's not like it all still revolves around Spider-Man. Like in like Homecoming, I do like Homecoming. But there is still it has to tie into stuff and like Tony Stark and stuff. I don't know. I just like the self-contained, just the simpler style of these Spider-Man movies. Um, it doesn't feel like it always has to build towards some other big thing. I
Yeah.
just like that. Yeah, and like there's nothing wrong with the world building of the MCU. I mean, I'm not really
No.
into MCU or Marvel anymore. I'm not really. I was huge into that a while back, but after like Endgame, I just lost interest pretty much. I mean, I'll watch a movie here and there, but like I'm just not keeping up with it anymore. But like I don't know. There's nothing like wrong with that. I'm not one of those people who's like Marvel isn't cinema. But I don't know. It's just I like how simple like these like pre-MCU 2000s superhero movies are. It's just like even like the ones that aren't good, like Ghost Rider or like fucking what
Don't
other
you
ones are there?
Punisher, because Punisher's great.
I need to see Punisher. I own the 4K Blu-ray of it, but I haven't seen it yet.
It's pretty good.
I need to see that. I need to see Blade.
Blade
I want to
Blade
see
1 and
Fantastic Four
2.
as well.
Oh, Fantastic Four. Ugh. Blade 1 and 2 though are fucking kino.
Yeah, but like Fantastic Four looks like it would be a great movie to watch drunk.
Blade 2 is Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah,
And if it didn't have the studio interference it did, it would be pretty fucking amazing.
but those are like R-rated, like gory, aren't they?
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, I need to see those. I own them. I own all three of them actually. But
That's when like they didn't fucking censor shit.
yeah,
Because the fucking Punisher movie is pretty fucking R-rated.
yeah. I need to see it. I really do. It's on my watch list.
I'm trying
Priority
to
watch
think of
list even.
the most brutal superhero film of this like was. I want to
Logan's
say
kind of brutal.
I was trying to think of the mid 2000s. So
Oh yeah, sorry.
it's probably I want to say either Blade or Punisher.
Really need to see Blade. Back to Spider-Man.
We keep just moving on from
Yeah,
Spider-Man 2 and don't
this
care
is
to
like
talk.
try to talk about Spider-Man. Try to stay on discussion challenge hard.
I envy
Fuck, I
guys.
don't know. I mean, we're nearing 2 hours, and we haven't even gotten to 3 yet. But
There's a really powerful speech with Uncle Ben. And I don't remember the context behind how the speech goes down. Like how he's fucking in the car with Ben having the conversation. I think it's a dream
it's
or
like a dream,
nightmare.
or it's just like kind of like he's imagining it. I think it's more of like he's like imagining what Uncle Ben would say or feel about it.
It's a really intense and amazing fucking monologue. And fucking Aunt May has quite a few of them in this movie too.
Yeah, she's the one with the all the bit of hero in us. Or what did she say?
Yeah, I believe it's here in all of us, I think, is what she said.
That's a good scene. I like that scene.
Why do I say Henry scene? Who is Henry?
Henry is a kid, a small child.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's it's at that point where you like not amazing. Aunt May where she knows but Peter doesn't realize she knows, kind of thing. Because it's pretty apparent that she knows what's up with Peter.
Yeah.
Because when she was saved by him, I think is when she catches on to.
Yeah, because she's like, yeah. I didn't even think of
Because
that. Fuck.
he says that line to her. I forget what it was. He's like, "Oh wait, never mind." He like flies off, and she's like, "What?" And she's like,
Yeah, man, I forgot about that. I didn't realize that she like kind of knows. Because there's a scene in 3 when he's like, "Oh, he's dead.
"No,
Spider-Man killed him."
because I'd argue she fully knows because she wouldn't have done the thing with Henry if she didn't
What?
fully know."
Sorry, what?
What?
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you're saying.
Oh, you need me fine, right? Hello?
What? I just almost passed out. Sorry about that.
Passed out.
I don't
What?
know. I just almost passed out. I'm chill.
Are you tired?
No, I drank a big can of Red Bull. I'm gonna be up all night.
Anyways, I'm saying that I'm pretty sure she fucking knows, and I'd argue that she does fully know, because without her knowing, she wouldn't have set up the whole Henry scene.
Yeah.
Because what she says wouldn't fucking apply to Peter if he wasn't Spider-Man. Because it's very obvious that speech is kind of the deciding factor that gets him back into being Spider-Man. Because at that point, Spider-Man was away for a few months.
Yeah, because he's like, you know what? Fuck Spider-Man. I'm gonna live my life.
Yeah, because he makes this decision, and then a few months go by, and crime's on the rise, and it's like, where's fucking Spider-Man? And then he's helping Aunt May move out, and Henry comes along, and she gets Henry to talk about, like, basically how Spider-Man is a hero for everyone and stuff. I don't think she would have, like, nudged the conversation in that direction if she didn't know Peter was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that's really probably one of the most important scenes in the movie.
Yeah.
Because the point where Peter realizes that he can do both, and he should do both, because I believe it is hero in all of us.
Yeah, and with great power comes great responsibility.
Some of the best superhero monologues, period.
Oh, shizzle.
I need to wash my fucking hair, but yeah. Anyway, did he reveal to? No, he reveals he was there when Ben died.
Yeah, and she's like kind of taken aback by it. She's like, man,
She's
fuck
taken
you.
aback, but she forgives him pretty quickly.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say that if let's see, wait. Cause she like moved wait. Yeah. Was that after the bank scene?
Fuck. I have it pretty low on my notes.
Hmm.
So I believe it's before the hero and all last scene. I know that much. Because I think he goes to it and some time passes. And then he comes back to check up on her because she's moving out. And that's when she says I believe there's a hero in all of us.
Yeah.
And then Peter's like, I should come back. And he's like, I'm back. Then he fucking flies into the wall.
Oh yeah,
And
because he has fucking like his powers have like he has like
his
power
powers kind of
ED.
fade in now, and there's the fire scene, which isn't in my fucking notes. I don't know why. Where he saves the little girl.
Yeah.
Isn't that like one of the fucking scenes where he's like, yeah, I can really do this. I can get my powers back.
I
Because
think
he
so,
doesn't
yeah.
quite have his powers in that scene. Because he misses that jump.
Yeah.
And then, like, the little girl helps him up, kind of, but not really, because he wouldn't have fucking been able to do that. Scene where he's like excited, he's like, I got my powers back, I'm back. And he fucking like falls. Just fucking hits every fucking ledge on the way down.
Yeah. Oh
He's
yeah,
like,
he like slams on the car. It's just like
my back.
yeah. It's like
Um, and then there's the train scene, which is another really powerful scene in the movie.
Yeah,
because
where a
he's
random
menacing
handful
us.
of New Yorkers find out who Spider-Man is and just keep it a secret.
Well, yeah, I was thinking about that the whole time I'm viewing this. I'm like, I mean, technically New York's a massive place, and he just saved all of their lives, so they kind of, in a way, owe it to him.
Yeah,
And they don't know his name. They don't know who this kid is. They just see his face.
yeah.
And it's not like you would be able to like 100% tell if you ever saw Peter in public again that is that the guy I saw as Spider-Man?
Yeah, I guess they don't fully know his identity. They just kind of see him as like, oh, he's just a guy.
Yeah, because that guy says he's just a kid. He's barely older than my son.
Yeah.
And y- it's just really powerful because they don't give a shit. And then like fucking Doc Ock shows up again. He's like, Joey Diaz is there for some fucking reason. He's like, if you want Spider-Man, you gotta go through me. I don't know if you know who Joey Diaz is.
I feel like I do recognize that name, but who's that?
He's like a comedian. He's the fucking guy who stands up to Doc Ock when he's trying to get Spider-Man on the train.
Yeah, it's kind of like the scene in the first one when they're like, they have the bus full of kids, or it's not a bus. It's like what is it, like a trolley or like a fucking like,
Yeah, it's
what is
like a
that thing?
trolley thing.
Gondola.
What?
I'm pretty sure it's called a gondola. Hold up, I am looking this shit up.
Oh, gondola. Yeah. I
Gondola.
thought you said Dundola. I'm like, what the fuck is a
Gondola.
gondola?
Is that what it's called? Gondola? It's like a
Yeah,
fucking like trellis in the air and
yeah, Gon, gondola. Gondola.
gondola. Gondola. No, what the fuck, gondola? It's some kind of fucking boat? No.
What? No, gondola.
It's a gondola. Gondola. Isn't it gondola?
Yeah,
It's a gondola.
it's not a boat. It's one of the other definitions, like cabin
No, it
on the
says it's a fucking
suspended.
like some kind of fucking Italian boat or some shit. What the fuck?
If you look at the North American definition, it says an open railroad freight car.
Freight car? No, it's like a fucking thing that's like on a wire that like flies that like goes through the air. Like it like goes from place to place. It's like a trolley, except for it like is in the air. Gondola. Fucking hell. Anyway,
It's the
um,
ski lift thing.
anyway, it's like that scene when Green Goblin's like, all right, you either save the thing full of people or MJ. Then it's like they're like doing that for a bit. He's trying to save him, and then like all the New Yorkers are like, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us, and they're like throwing shit at Green Goblin. It's kind of like that in the when they're like, you got to go through us, but then Doc Ock just fucking like pushes them to the side.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
when I was watching that, and he's like, okay, then I thought he was gonna like just like fucking kill them all.
Nah, he's like, I thought it was funny. I'm like, really? You guys are not gonna be able to fight off these two giant medical tentacles that really shouldn't be held up by his back alone, but whatever, it's a comic book movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, that happens. He's like, okay, I'll do it. Fucking take Spider-Man.
And then I mentioned it earlier, but I do feel like the Harry plotline with him wanting to get revenge on Spider-Man and like him finding out it's Peter. I feel like it's just kind of pushed to the side and it just doesn't really
It
matter
is.
in this movie. And like I feel
Well,
like
it
it's
comes
almost
up
a
at
bit more
the end.
interesting than the Doc Ock storyline, at least to me. That like what's the word? Uh, conflict, and like that conflict between Peter and Harry. I feel like that's interesting, and the way it like plays out in 3, and I'll get to that. But I don't know. I kind of wish there was more of that, or like at least more payoff for that storyline in the second one. Except for, other than it's just kind of building up to 3. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think a lot of the stuff in Spider-Man 2 is kind of just stuff that helps. Is how do I fucking say it? I think the speeches and the whole thematic elements are kind of the like meat and potatoes of the film,
Hmm.
and the stuff with Doc Ock and Harry are kind of just like the seasoning.
Yeah, it definitely is more about the characters than the actual like. That's why I think it's a bit odd that it's like, all right, all of New York City is gonna blow up from the Doc Ock's generator thing. Like, I don't know if the stakes really need to be quite that high, but That just feels like kind of like a superhero cliche with like the machine that's gonna destroy in New York City that's gonna destroy everything. Like I feel like that's kind of a cliche, but like maybe in the early 2000s that wasn't as much of a cliche in movies. Like I'm sure that type of thing was in comic books, but like maybe in movies that wasn't as much of
I feel like
a
it's
trope.
more of a thing you notice now because of the MCU and the fucking,
Yeah,
what is it,
yeah, like you do have
20,
yeah,
30 fucking movies now?
yeah. But and then Doc he like takes MJ and cause just yeah, let's see. Why does he take MJ?
It's because Peter knows where to find Spider-Man. That's why he takes Mary Jane, I think. Because Peter is Spider-Man's photographer. So he goes out and finds Peter.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
Then takes yeah, that happens, and then the whole blah blah blah.
Yeah, and then let's see. Yeah, then like Doc Ock kind of like he kind of like snaps out of it, and realizes that he's being controlled by the robot arms, which is interesting. And he kind of like fucking yeets himself into the thing. Uh,
Which, oh yeah, I was gonna say, I hope the scene where he fucking floats into the water with the reactor thing is exactly where fucking No Way Home starts. I want it like exactly at that moment, and he's like fucking floating down in the water, and then all of a sudden is transported into the fucking No Way Home area,
yeah,
and then it flashes to the Peter doing something. I don't know. I just feel like that would be a nice way to start the movie.
yeah,
Get that out of the way before you fucking get to the Peter shit. I don't know. Fucking No Way Home has a lot to balance here.
yeah.
It's the
It's
Spider-Man villains. We don't know who the sixth is,
buddy.
but it's assumed it's the Sinister Six because there's fucking five of them. Why would you have five in that six? I don't know why they're keeping six a secret, unless it's actually like Venom or something.
Fucking Topher Grace shows up.
Nah, it'd be Tom Hardy because
Yeah.
he's in fucking MCU now. Oh,
What?
spoilers.
Wait, hold up. What?
Fuck everything.
Wait, he
Okay,
is?
so we should probably cut this point out, but major spoilers for the end of Venom 2. The
Oh,
post-credit scene in Venom 2.
I do not give a
Um,
single fuck about Venom 2.
okay, but like, did you see it?
I did not. I really, like I said, I could not give less of a fuck. I mean, the first one sucked, so I really don't care.
I thought the first one looked goofy, so I avoided it, so I haven't seen either one. But like, fucking Tom Hardy is like chilling in a fucking hotel room on vacation, I guess. Or no, he's like, I don't know what he's doing because I don't fucking know the context of the movie. But all of a sudden, like the room and everything changes, and then the news comes on, and they see the fucking Daily Bugle talking about Spider-Man's identity, and Venom's like, "That guy looks tasty," and it's like, "Oh, this is happening."
Oh, okay.
So I guess he's in the MCU now.
But as for the ending of Spider-Man 2, um,
What happens after he gets sucked into the fucking water? Sucked into
after
the
Doc
water?
Ock gets mad suck,
Sucked off. Um,
um,
the movie just
sucked
got
off this
ended.
plane of existence. No, they it's like MJ's wedding, and she doesn't show up, and then she sees, then the Punisher walks by, and then she runs to Spider-Man and is like, "Go get him, Tiger."
Go get him, Tiger.
And yeah, I mean, good ending, solid. Finally gets the girl, and they ruined it in 3. um, and yeah, do you have anything more to say about this one, or?
There's a whole Harry's visited by Norman in the mirror.
Oh yeah, and he like breaks the mirror and finds his like secret little cave,
Yeah.
and I was like,
And ta-da! That's pretty much that's it for Spider-Man 2.
yeah. Hopefully that was a good discussion. Do you think it was? I think it was. I covered all the points I
Hopefully.
wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would maybe this is controversial, I'm not sure, but I would give it like a solid 7. Um like honestly talking about it, I kind of want to bump it to 8, and I definitely want to see the theatrical cut. But like
I feel
I
like
really like it. I
in
don't
the
really
extended cut kind of threw you off tonally. Because
Yeah,
there's
I
a lot
mean,
of what the fuck
I
stuff you were
thought
talking about.
this feels like weirdly out of place. It wasn't like it completely ruined it. It was just maybe went on for too long or just felt like
It
out
was
of
like the
place. But in general,
same.
like I think it's a really good movie, and like I think it's like I don't know. I just like the first one more. I think it's more of I don't know. I just like I think I'll like this one on rewatch more. Yeah, it's solid. I like it. I just don't think Doc Ock is as much of a compelling character. But the other characters like Peter and MJ and Harry, I think that like keeps it going. That's what it's really the core of the story. So like it doesn't take it down too much, but I think it's still solid. I just said the same thing like 4 times in a row.
I really like this movie. I think it's a very, very good superhero movie. I think it's one of the best. And I'd give it a nice, solid, fat, big, extra juicy 9.
Nice.